A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Tuesday, March 28th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. A Port Jervis man faces up to 15 years in state prison if convicted for manufacturing and selling ghost guns made from a 3D printer in his residence. Police confiscated a dozen of those weapons with no serial numbers after Noah James McCagg was arrested on Saturday for possessing a loaded 9mm pistol while on Front Street in Port Jervis in the afternoon. A search warrant at McCagg's Prospect Street home turned up the homemade weapons that are extremely dangerous, part of the drug trade, says Orange County District Attorney David Hoovler.
He's not a firearms enthusiast. He's a convicted felon at the age of 21 who is part of a narcotics investigation who is selling ghost guns to who do you think? Narcotics dealers.
The investigation was conducted by Port Jervis City Police, Deer Park Police, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and the DA's office. McCagg was committed to the Orange County Jail in lieu of $25,000 cash bail, $75,000 secured bond, or $100,000 unsecured bond. The insurance carrier that's covering the fire that damaged the education center at the Orange County Arboretum in Montgomery on October 31st of last year gave the county a settlement of over $542,000. The insurance funds won't cover the entire cost to restore the damages, County Parks Commissioner James Brooks told the legislature's Oversight Committee on Monday.
The building was built in the 90s, so, obviously, many of the codes have changed, so we have to work through ADA, we have to work through fire suppression, so see where it all shakes out.
Brooks could not provide an estimate of what the total cost of restoration would be. If bids, design, and construction move forward, he said the project could be completed by the end of the summer. State Attorney General Tish James yesterday released video footage that her office obtained as part of its ongoing investigation into the death of 41-year-old Daniel McAlpin, who was shot and killed by police on September 9th of last year in the town of Wawarsing. The Office of Special Investigation in the AG's office released videos from body-worn cameras worn by two officers. James emphasized the release of the footage is not an expression of any opinion as to the guilt or innocence of anyone in a criminal matter, or any opinion as to how or whether any individual may be charged with a crime. At the time of the incident, state police and the Ulster County Sheriff's Office joined the Ulster County Mobile Mental Health Crisis Team, where they encountered McAlpin, who was described as being distraught and armed with a large knife. The investigation into the fatal shooting is continuing. Westchester County Executive George Latimer and Orange County Executive Stephen Newhouse joined forces on Monday to talk about common issues. Chief among them is the growing tourism industry in the Hudson Valley, and Newhouse pointed to the latest entry in Orange County's visitor attraction, Legoland.
We have about $1 million alone comes in hotel motel tax alone. So they have really brought a lot of attention. We're seeing spin-off tours of attractions, not only hotels coming, but other types of theme parks. We're seeing adventure theme parks. We're even looking, kicking the tires on bringing in a dinosaur park.
Latimer said all the counties in the region are partners in some of the same issues, including the Hudson River, the Thruway, and other highways and tourism.
He's here! The Easter Bunny is visiting the Galleria at Crystal Run every day, now until Easter. And he's not camera shy. Get your picture taken with Mr. Peter Cottontail. Children, families, even pets are welcome. And now you can make an appointment ahead of time at whereisbunny.com. Reservations are strongly encouraged. Go to GalleriaCrystalRun.com for all the details.
A 33-year-old Bloomingburg man has been charged with vehicular manslaughter in connection with a fatal car crash at the intersection of Routes 302 and 17K in Bullville that occurred in August of last year. Crawford Police Chief Dominic Blasco says an investigation with assistance from the state police found that a 1995 Chevrolet van driven by 33-year-old Sean DeHaan was traveling eastbound on Route 17K when it failed to stop for a red light and entered the intersection with Route 302, striking two other vehicles. 39-year-old Jeffrey Griffin of Pine Bush, a front-seat passenger in one of the vehicles, was transported to the hospital where he died from his injuries. A 27-year-old Port Jervis man arrested on felony charges following execution of a no-knock search warrant that resulted in seizure of crack cocaine was released on his own recognizance as the charges he faces are not eligible for bail under the state's criminal justice reform laws. It's alleged that on the afternoon of Friday, March 24th, police executed the warrant at a residence in the city of Port Jervis, arrested Tyree Brown, and seized 29 grams of crack cocaine, drug packaging materials, and scales typically used in narcotics trafficking. A Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania man has been arrested by Woodbury Town Police for allegedly committing an armed robbery at the Sunoco A+ store in Central Valley, as well as two other armed robberies in New York and Pennsylvania on the same day. Police said in the early morning hours of March 18th, a man later identified as 37-year-old Giancarlo Garcia pulled a gun on the store clerk at the gas station and stole a large sum of cash, several cartons of cigarettes, lottery tickets, and an employee's cell phone. During the initial investigation, using video surveillance and stationary license plate readers, a vehicle and suspect were identified. It was later determined that he had committed two other armed robberies in New York and Pennsylvania. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.